All right, 10 things that I definitely follow and make sure that you should follow too to keep your PC, to keep your account safe, to keep everything safe so that you guys don't end up wondering what the heck happened. I'm hoping this helps. Hopefully something in here you're not aware of and you learn something. So this is what the main thing is. Never give anybody access to your computer unless you fully know them or trust them. I'm talking like fully trust them. Like it don't matter if it's a computer store that you don't really know. You look at the reviews, find out if they're legitimate or trustworthy. Because if you get them access and they get in there and you don't have no like security to sign into Google Chrome, they can click on passwords in the settings and just literally visually click on view password. Like, see, click, I can view the password. Then, not only that, you just don't want to give anybody you don't trust access remotely because you got scammers calling you up saying that you got a virus. Dell won't call you up. There's not one person that's going to call you up and say, hey, there's a problem with your PC. We need access to it right now. You got a virus. It happens so many times. I've got these calls. I've actually made some videos that I got hidden that were kind of corny, but that I was actually had scammers calling me up and I actually recorded a phone call with him, and he got mad because he knew I was playing with him. I was playing with him, but it was funny because I just kept wasting his time. But usually, in very rare circumstances, will anybody other than a scammer ask you for your credentials, your passwords, your phone number, your social security, trying to get thing, and they'll pretend to be whoever they can be. Like I've been having fake Dell people call me forever. It's really annoying. But beware, if somebody's asking for something personal, think. Because why do they need this information? What are they asking it for? They definitely don't ever need your password if they're the company that can actually easily reset it and access your account without the password. It makes no sense. A lot of this is common sense. Now, strong passwords, very, very important. If you can't remember them, you can write them down, but I recommend you write them in a pattern that you can remember, that you know you didn't write it down perfectly. Like write it up backwards, twist it around, add one letter up, down. Do something creative where you know you wrote it down, and then you also got another password that you can decipher all your other passwords if you have a terrible memory, or use something that's related to you that you only you know, in the combination that you come up with for and make them all unique. Very important to make sure all your passwords are unique. If you don't do that, you can't use the same password because if one you get one vulnerable, one place gets hacked, and then it happens quite often. Maybe before you start recording, mute your phone dinging. Um, okay, and then keep the operating system up to date. Very important because different problems happen all the time. I mean, especially like they find there's a war against like vulnerabilities in the operating systems that they're trying to find. There's one in trying to find them to fix them, and one in trying to find them to gain access, and it's whoever races to it first. That's why you want to definitely keep all software because it's connected to the internet, which they can find a vulnerability that can attack the system between all your software. And believe me, the faster you make sure you get that thing, you check for updates, and you can easily do Google Chrome. I recommend to keep all software. Those are the two key points right there. And then you want to use either. I mean, I wouldn't recommend using Google. I mean, Internet Explorer. I don't know how much secure it is, but I've been very comfortable with using just Google Chrome. It's been very very good because it has built-in virus detection thing in it. It has like a built-in security system and warn for malicious websites, and there's an easy reset feature in here too. If you go down to the bottom here and you have a problem with Google Chrome and it's giving you issues, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you can even search for viruses with this. You can clean up the computer. You can search for harmful viruses inside Chrome, which is dope. And then you can restore everything to the original defaults. That's like if you get somehow you have a bar that pops up, and if you know a friend that has that, you can easily just go to the Google Chrome and it has a stupid search bar that pops up. You can easily reset it right to the original defaults just by going to settings. Like you can find it here and just go to settings. Then if you want to, to clean up the computer, you can do that. It has a setting there. And if you want to clear your cache, it's pretty much right in here. Clear your browser cache and all that stuff. Maybe and you can turn on security. You can set the security. This defaults seem to be working fine. I've not had a virus in 5, 6 years. And I'm gonna get on to the next point here. The virus, I don't ever use. If I haven't used a virus software for, I mean, if I ever really is curious about a file that's really detrimental, or I might not know if it's for sure a file might be infected because I got it when I'm testing a script or something, and I'm not sure exactly if it's. I'll go to like Virus Total and I'll upload it. It'll check its checksum. If it's already been uploaded, it'll scan it fresh, and if it detects anything for multiple virus scanners for free. I mean, that's just one website you can use. You can use another free one, but you don't ever need to have your resources taken up by a. You've already got Bitdefender, so you don't need to have another one taking over and then telling you it expired. I just don't recommend it. It's a waste of money and a waste of time. Now, you can use the default file. Yeah, use the default Windows file. You say make sure if you're in your house on a laptop, make sure you can be in the private. You should be fine, and use the public for the public because they're closing different ports. It's going to be a lot more secure if you're on a laptop in a coffee shop, so they can't, other devices can't be. And be very careful when you're in a coffee shop in your laptop because it's so easy for them to snip the network and to have a rogue wire router. So I mean, the default power that's not going to protect you. There's only one thing that can protect you in those situations, and that would be like a VPN or something like that that can protect you from somebody eavesdropping on your connection. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So if you're doing any type of banking or financial stuff, make sure you're not on a public network. Your cellular connection is pretty dang secure. Not completely secure, but it's a lot more secure than a Wi-Fi network where everybody else is using in a public situation. So that's one. Number 8. Now, when downloading software, yeah, when you download anything from the internet, make sure it's from a reputable site. It's going to have it's going to have like, if you go here to YouTube, it's going to have this little security key in Chrome, and other web browsers will have the same thing. You want to make sure that is definitely saying secure, and you got to make sure. And another way to make sure on this app, a lot of them are in different places. You go to About Chrome, it'll automatically tell you it's Chrome's up for date, and it'll upgrade so easy right there, and it'll make you restart when it's updated. So you just go to Help, and there you go. You updated Chrome, and then you're gonna make sure that you got that set up. And so once you you make sure you're downloading from a trusted source, because if you're not, if you download it from, like, let's say download.net or CNET, you're gonna end up with so much malware. It's not gonna be like detrimental, but they're gonna be spying on you, or they're gonna be ad marketing to you. You're gonna have all this extra freaking browser extensions. It's not malicious. It's just annoying, and it is kind of malicious when they're spying on you, I guess. But it's not doing any damage to your computer. It's not like, oh my gosh, I got a virus. But it is. It's malware, and you don't want it. And then, yeah, and last but you stay away from adult websites. That's where probably 90% or more of everything. If you really have to go do that. And if that's what you're into, it's, use a VM. Keep it off your main PC. Use a VM. Use Linux. Use the bootable CD. Keep it off your main PC if you have to go and do that, because I guarantee you, every computer I've ever worked on or they've had a problem with, it's mainly because of something like that. They've been doing it. You can't cover. You think you delete your history. You think it's gone forever. It's not, and it's easily recoverable. And it's, yeah, and you don't want to. And it's like it's just, I don't know what it is, but I think that they do it on purpose, because it's like a lot of them are fake, just kind of like they want to spy on you, or I don't know what it is. But I've found so many clickbait utilities that pop up that I have to, like, how do I even? It's like, and then if you do end up with something like that, here's one key tip. If you ended up with this, last but not least, this is what I recommend you doing. I think we covered everything in this little quick tutorial here on or friendly advice. Is if you want to reset, you click on this bar right here, and if you just type in reset Windows, this is for Windows. I recommend just reinstalling Linux. It doesn't take very long at all. Or Mac usually doesn't have that many vulnerabilities, but it does have a reset PC feature, I'm sure, like restore back to default. And you don't have to delete the whole entire thing, and it doesn't take very long. And this is what will pop up. And you'll basically sit here and you'll say, running in a reset might help. Let's choose. Okay, so this will be like reset this PC in advance. So you can basically reset this PC and it'll restore everything back. And I recommend keeping backwards. You can check backup settings. You can back up, and they do have like backup settings. But this is where you would want to. This will fix a friend of mine's computer when she couldn't get something to work. So if you reset it, you will have to reinstall like basic downloaded apps that you downloaded, like Google Chrome and all that stuff. But it's a lot easier than trying to like remove a virus or something like that. But that should get rid of a lot of the viruses, unless it's a extremely malicious one. And I recommend you might want to take it in if you know you got one, but you'll know it when you got a serious virus, because you'll notice just crazy things. And I recommend as soon as you notice something like that and somebody controlling your PC, shut the thing down. That's it. Shut the power it off. And that's all I'm going to say. You guys have a nice day. Just shut it down. Just like this. If you see somebody using your computer without authorization, you just